on your purpose? Has anybody even asked you what your purpose is? Have you asked yourself what your purpose is? And why is this important? There's an evolution underfoot, people. And you can either be part of it or not part of it. We've looked at the world for years in this notion of non-profit or for-profit, making this kind of like divide that non-profits do God's work and are mission-centered, and everybody goes to work every day and they're totally jacked up about it, but they can't make money to save their life. And over here you got the for-profits. They can make money in the bucket loads, but they're not necessarily mission-driven. They're not necessarily connected to their work. They don't really care about it, and they're waiting for 5 o'clock somewhere or Friday. What kind of devil's bargain is that? I think that's an old school model. That model needs to be eradicated. The millennials in this room have not made the devil's bargain. I got to either make a money or make a difference. We can do both. It's time for humanity to realize you can do both. Are you with me? All right, so forget for-profit and non-profit. Let's think about business as a force of good. Now, all of us carry orthodoxies in our head, implicit biases, a mindset. And sometimes you got to change your mindset if you're going to change your outcomes. One mindset is, business is evil. All they do is our money grubbing mothers that just want to extract money from us. That's a mindset, but that might be a flawed mindset. Today, the social sector by itself, the private sector by itself, government by itself cannot solve the problems we're facing. Business can be a force of good. You can be part of that business. You can run that business. You can work in that business. But you got to make a decision that it's going to be for a force of good. So today, let's have a new orientation. Instead of saying nonprofit and for-profit, let's revisit that. Let's erase that and say it's either for purpose or not for purpose. Why? Business is evolving. Now, not all of you are going to know all these people, the old white guys, go figure. But this is Thomas Friedman. He's an economist. He came up with this notion that this is what I call business 1.0. The only reason businesses exist is to throw off profit for their shareholders. How they do that doesn't matter. You rape and pillage the land, you destroy the rainforests, you feed people tobacco, whatever the hell it is. Hey, as long as you make money, you're good, man, because your job is to maximize profit. Business 1.0. Business 2.0. Business 2.0 says, no, actually, you know what's most important in Business 2.0 is the customer. You take care of your customer, the money will come. It's all about the customer. Business 3.0, there was a change underfoot that says, you know what, actually that's not true. If you want to have happy customers, you got to have happy employees. The customer experience rarely exceeds the employee experience. So now culture becomes important in Business 3.0. Companies are paying attention to culture. Peter Drucker, the management guru who came up with management by objectives, whose textbooks are still used in all the universities, says culture eats strategy for breakfast. 1.0, it's all about money. 2.0, it's all about the customers. 3.0, it's all about culture. So you'd say, well, man, if you're at the 3.0 business, I say you're probably good to go. But actually 4.0 is where we're at today. This is Simon Sinek. If you haven't seen some of his TED Talks, go Google him. He talks about the golden circle and why. Why? Why are you here? Why are you alive? Why does your business exist? Why are you in this room? Why am I talking right now? Why? And the why is what people buy. The why. A purpose, a 4.0 business is saying purpose matters. That means your customers matter, your employees matter, your community matters. All people matter. Easy to say, hard to do. But if nothing else in the last 12 minutes, you've changed your mindset about what the reason for a business to exist is. And if you as an entrepreneur, as a budding aspirational leader, wants to reimagine the contribution you can make to yourself, your family, your community, and your planet through the lens of a purpose mindset, I think you're onto something. we might all be onto something. Now you could say, wow, that sounds kind of good, whatever. Prove it, brother. So Harvard Business Review has done a study. There's a book called Conscious Capitalism where Raj Sisodia has written about this, where businesses that are actually purpose-oriented have 10 times better outcomes. So it's measurable. Doing good makes sense. Doing good will allow you to be successful. Anybody heard of this guy named Ptolemy? We're going way back now. We're not talking like last week or last month or 100 years. This is an astronomer who actually had a worldview that everything revolved around the earth. We believed this as humans for hundreds of years. Some of us still believe everything revolves around us. You do believe that? I hope not. All of a sudden, the world changed when Copernicus said, actually, no, we revolve around the sun. We don't revolve around the earth. And fundamentally, boom, overnight, everybody had to revisit the notion of what was reality. Bloodletting. 1,500 years, medicine used bloodletting with leeches to try to make us healthier. And then all of a sudden, we finally figured out, maybe there's a better way. So like this shift that happens, not just shit happens, shift happens too. Shift happens if you're open to that shift happening. You can imagine, and I don't know if you've recognized it, but something's going on here, people. Shift is happening. I don't have to take you to, tweets and shitholes and inhumanizing the very essence of what makes us who we are as people, to recognize that shift is happening. And you can look at that through lenses. You can look at it through the lens of, oh my God, what is going on? This is horrible. You can look at this through the lens of, we're waking up. We're waking up. We're not going to stand for this. This is inviting us to behave into the change we want to see in the world. What are we trying to solve for? Fragmentation. The root, we had a health and wellness group up here moments ago. The root of the word health is about wholeness. We all want to be whole. We want to all be complete. We are fractionated. We are fragmented. We are disconnected. And that's what creates all the isms. Alcoholism. That creates the depression. That creates the alienation. That creates the isolation. That's all the human suffering that we're creating. Because we're disconnected, but you know what? We're all connected. We're one tribe, we're one people, we're one planet. The world of ecosystems is done. This is a world of ecosystems. We live in an ecosystem together. The quality of the water, the quality of the air, the quality of our consciousness is determined by us. And when we pollute it, we don't just pollute it for us, we pollute it for all of us. So I'm here to invite you to take a call to responsibility, a call to arms. The cavalry on their white horses with their white hats, I'm not coming. You're it. You are the cavalry. You are the people we've been waiting for. And just looking around and going, wait a minute, there's about, 100 of us in this room. We? Really? Us? Me? Little old me? Yeah, little old you. Little old you and little old me can change this big, wide world together. Absolutely. With belief in ourselves, with the right mindset, with the support of each other and the collective wisdom of everybody working together. So why San Diego and why now? San Diego has been used for decades as a place to test and pilot ideas, products, services. Companies from all over the planet come over here to test it. That's one reason. The other reason is the best time to do this would have been 30 years ago, and we didn't do it 30 years ago, so we better do it right now. The Japanese have an expression, ichige, ichie, ichigo. Every moment is unprecedented. Every moment is unrepeatable. This moment we will never get back. This moment right now is unprecedented. It is unrepeatable. We will never be together like this, ever. Don't squander the moment. So what is purpose? Here's the definition, since I've said you need to find yours, I need to find mine, we need to find it together. It's an aspirational reason for being, grounded in humanity, which inspires innovation. Innovation is both a process and an outcome. And a call to action. That's what I'm here to try to elicit out of you. For all people and organizations to provide benefit to the local and global society. Purpose empowers us. I don't know if you're familiar with this concept of ikigai. In Okinawa, they study the whole planet and look at blue zones, zones where people live way longer than other places. Okinawa is one of those. Loma Linda, California happens to be another area where people somehow disproportionately live way longer than everybody else. They're trying to figure out why. Why is this happening? Well, in Okinawa, this concept of ikigai produces more people over the age of 100 than in most places on the planet. Why? Because they know their purpose. They get up with a reason to live. They know who they are. They're clear about why they're there. At the intersection of what you love, what the world needs, what they'll pay you for, and what you're good at, you're going to find your purpose. And if somebody's telling you right now, whether that's that little voice in your head like Lars, you know, that trigger that's going, nah, you can't do it, brother. No. In fact, I'm going to try to sabotage you while you're here. If you've got that little voice going on, you've got to pay attention and override that voice. You've got to choose to not to participate in that chatter. You've got to choose to redefine what you're hearing and what you're saying to yourself. Negative self-talk is going to kill you. Worrying is negative goal setting. Pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. It's one of the most important and powerful ways of connecting with yourself. So reach for that ikigai. Identify what your purpose is. Just Google it when you get done. It's easy. It's not the ikigai who's being like uncool or inappropriate, but it's ikigai, okay, just to be clear. All right, so as I said earlier, we've thought of the world in the same way of the old model, for-profit, non-profit. Get it out of there. It's either for-purpose, non-purpose. We've thought of the old world as these different sectors, the public sector, the social sector, the private sector. Get it out of there. At the intersection with all those three is what I'm going to call the fourth sector. This is social enterprise. This is making money and making a difference. You can be part of that enterprise. You might be already part of that enterprise. I only have a few minutes left, so I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to invite you to the power of play. This has been pretty heady. I've been kind of sitting here, hitting on my bully pulpit, right, banging on it, and I want to lighten it up a little bit. So we're going to do something which is a little lighter through the power of play. Don't underestimate the power of play. People that have the luxury for their life work to play, whether that's play sport, play music, when they can put the word play in what they do, they're some lucky folks. They get up in the morning and play all day. Play is children's work. And we're all children of heart. Who said that somewhere along the line we had to forego our innocence and our enthusiasm and our passion and be subordinated and, punched into some new model, dehumanizing us? So we're going to play a little. Are you good with play? You still remember how to play? God bless you. So here's the game. You're all superheroes, self-anointed. This is the new Justice League, people. You're looking at them. Take a look around you. Every one of these people have a superhuman power. How do I know? Here's how I know. If we would ask somebody who knows you really well, so here's Ali sitting up here. If I ask Ali, hey, what's your superhuman power? He's going to get like all, oh, well, man, I'm not superhuman. I'm just a normal average dude, whoa. But I say, okay, wait a minute. Ali, somebody who knows you really well, how would they respond to it when I say, what's his greatest gift? What's his superpower? What's his strength? That gives you permission to ask a higher order question through the lens of somebody who knows you really well. So don't push this down, raise it up. Don't shrink the mission to meet the objective. Expand the objective to meet the vision. So here's the game. Oh, I jumped it. Your first initial, so I'll give you mine. My name is Neville Billimoria, so I'm an N. Superior is my first. Last name Billimoria, tornado. My superpower is superior tornado. I need to go up to Ali or Starla or Sparky or whoever else and tell them, what does that mean when superior tornado vortexes through your life? What's going to happen? Okay? We don't have a lot of time. We've got a couple minutes, but you're going to identify what your name is. I didn't come up with this. If you don't like it, change it, I guess. But quickly introduce yourself to somebody who you do not know, and in real time tell them what your superpower means. Go! If you got some music, bring it. If not, I don't care. We got it. Woo! Let's go. One more minute, 1 minute. Make sure you both go both ways.
You're a fantastic professor.
It's pleased to meet you. Superior tornado, so they tell me. I'm not. 30 seconds. All right. The hardest part of my task, right, is to get you to go back and have a seat. I know. This is wicked. But at least the energy went up, right? All right. So hopefully you got a chance to see the world through a new lens. Kind of debunk some of those myths or orthodoxies or limited thinking. Hopefully you got to see yourself through a new lens. And you see a world of opportunity, of possibility, of purpose. The world desperately needs you right now. Don't underestimate the importance that you can play in our future. My time is short. Hopefully you've got a new optic into which to reimagine your future, your epic, your possibilities. I'm grateful that you guys invited me back for 3 years in a row. I don't know why you keep inviting me, but I keep coming. And for those of you I haven't met yet, there are no strangers. There's only friends you haven't met yet. So take time to connect with all these people. They're here because they are kindred spirits on your journey. You don't know who in this room, actually, you might be 2 steps away from somebody who can completely light your fuse, float your boat, put your dream into reality. But you won't know if you don't reach out. So keep reaching out, keep connecting. We spend a lot of time working on ourselves. We forget the connection. Some of us might remember a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Yeah, it sold 7 million copies. In there, there's a story about 3 guys doing the same job. What are you doing? Laying bricks. What are you doing? Building a wall. What are you doing? Creating a masterpiece. What's missing in Covey's book, and it's not his story, he just sold 7 million copies of the book, is that the mortar is as important as the bricks. The connection, the relationships, the authentic linking of human beings is as important as the bricks. Please pay attention to the mortar, the glue, the connective tissue. That's what keeps us together. We're one people. We all matter. We're all important, and you count. Thank you very much.